Our need for greater efficiency has brought us many conveniences. We've invited the entire internet into our homes through things that we used to regard as inanimate objects. Not anymore. With greater connectivity comes greater vulnerability. In our search for greater efficiency, it's easy to understand the sense of security afforded by closed systems like keycards, where the dangers of connectivity have been removed. Keycards are now used in many settings, from technical areas that need access restricted to the widely growing hospitality market. But closed systems like keycards carry their own particular risks that we haven't fully considered. Keycard cloning.
Just talk me through some of the technology that you've brought with you today.
Yes, certainly. As the technology's evolved, encryption's been introduced, so simply copying cards has become more difficult, although still today the majority of locks are unencrypted, so we can just copy cards. The range of devices here, this device, approximately £60, will allow you to identify the card type you're dealing with and copy the majority of non-encrypted cards. We have a device here that's sold for investigation of Wi-Fi signals. It's really an educational tool. It's really good at helping you identify the type of card that you're dealing with. It can also be inserted into locks, which makes it suitable for card slot type devices. And the device at the end allows us to deal with encrypted cards. It does this not by copying the card, but by replicating the behaviour of a card.
Where can I get my hands on this type of kit?
All of this equipment is freely available. You don't require a license at all. Most of this equipment has been bought from auction sites or from Chinese suppliers.
Just talk me through how some of these devices might be used to facilitate criminal behaviour.
We've got a standard hotel card here, and it is really as simple as reading the card, taking a blank card, writing the card, and that's now a copy of the hotel room key.
What about encryption? Surely if that is encrypted, you shouldn't be able to clone that.
That's quite correct. We can't copy or duplicate an encrypted card, and here's an example. We can read it. We get a clear indication on this device that this card's encrypted. So instead of using this device, we'd move to this more expensive device, and this device is now replicating the behaviour of this card. So it's not a copy, it just behaves as this card would when it's presented to a lock. So you can now go and open doors to your heart's content.
If I was to replicate the card of, say, a cleaner in a hotel, this device could give me access to every single room in a hotel, potentially?
Yeah, it would give you access to every room that cleaner's card has access to.
And you've brought a cigarette packet here. Talk me through why you've brought that with you.
Certainly. Well, these devices, whilst ostensibly sold as educational tools, it's clearly been designed to fit neatly in a cigarette packet, which allows you to walk up behind members of staff in a hotel and capture their card in exactly the same way we've done here. And it also gives you a very discreet card that you can use to open any door now.
So really the top line here is that for about £400 I can buy technology that will give me access to about 90% of electronic door locks.
That's correct. With the encrypted cards you need a little bit more knowledge, but it's certainly well within the ability of a gifted amateur.
Essentially the hardest thing that I need to do is I just need to get close to a cleaner or a member of the maintenance staff so that I can replicate their card.
Absolutely. As you saw me, I pressed the button on the side, that armed the device is then ready and listening for a card. All you need to do is get within 30 centimetres or so of the card you want to copy, and that device will then automatically replicate the card and it'll be ready to unlock doors.
That really is quite frightening. Let's give this a go. Just wondering if you could direct me to where the smoking area is?
Go straight and left.
Straight that way?
Yes.
And then on the left-hand side?
Left-hand side,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. Thanks very much. What can businesses do to kind of mitigate for this type of technology?
The only thing that you can really do with any of these systems today is to add a second factor of authentication. And you'll have noticed some premises, not hotels, but office and industrial premises may have a keypad as well. That relies on you presenting the card, something you have, and entering a code, something you know. So that gives you a second factor of authentication. And obviously I can copy cards to my heart's content, but in both systems, if I don't know that number you have to enter, I'm relatively unable to gain access unless I can observe you entering that PIN number. So obviously when you enter a PIN number in those sort of systems, you need to protect them.